In this video, I'm going to be telling you a few things you need to know before uploading a product on Jumia or before setting a price on Jumia. Else, you lose money. So let's talk about it. Alright, so I've made a couple of videos on how to start selling on Jumia. But one thing I have not told you is the costs involved in selling on Jumia that you may not know about. So in this video, I'm going to be telling you exactly what they are. Now, obviously, Jumia isn't doing this for free, and one of the ways in which they get paid is through commissions. Now, for every single item sold on the platform, Jumia does get a commission for that. So you have to make sure to factor this into your pricing when you're about to set the price for your item. Because after the item has been shipped and delivered, Jumia will deduct their commission from your price. So you have to make sure to factor that in before you start selling. Now, another way Jumia gets paid is by shipping contribution. So as a seller, you need to factor that in as well. Now, if you're doing the drop shipping method, which is basically going to the Jumia hub and then Jumia actually ships it to the customer, then Jumia charges you 410 Naira for shipping that item per item. So no matter what the cost of the item is, Jumia will charge you 410 Naira. So you have to make sure to add at least on top of the commission 410 Naira to your product pricing, because after it has been delivered, Jumia will deduct 410 Naira plus commission from that item. Now, if you're shipping that item with Jumia Express, if you don't know what Jumia Express is basically you taking a bulk of your item, giving it to Jumia, and then Jumia will handle everything for you. You don't need to go to a hub or anything like that. If you're shipping it with Jumia Express, Jumia then charges you 154 Naira for shipping contribution. Although it's lesser than 410 Naira if you're shipping it directly by going to the Jumia hub, but it is still something to take note of even if you're shipping it with Jumia Express. Now, another thing that I noticed that people don't take notice of, but is also a significant cost if you really look at it, is packaging materials. Now, depending on the kind of item you're shipping, the packaging material you may need to use will be different. For the different types of sizes and packaging materials that there are, so do their costs vary as well. So you need to factor this in depending on what you're shipping, how much the packaging material costs, then add that into your cost analysis. Now, luckily, Jumia sells these packaging materials in bulk. So they don't just sell you one packaging material. So they sell maybe 10 or 20 or 50 at a time. So by them doing this, it brings down the cost of each packaging material for you, the vendor. So let's say, for example, you bought 20 pieces of small cartons for 2,000 Naira. Then when you're adding it into your cost analysis, you just know that each carton costs you 100 Naira. So that way, when you're doing your pricing, you're just adding 100 Naira to the cost of the item. Now, another thing that people don't factor, that even me myself I've been guilty of not doing, is factoring in your transportation fee. Now, we both know that Jumia's hub is not in your house, except if they're in the same building that you're living in. And for that, you need to factor in how much it costs you to transport yourself to the Jumia's hub. Even if you're driving, you need to factor that in. This is very important because as you get orders, so do you need to transport yourself to the Jumia hub. And like I said, as you do that, it costs money even if you're driving, because as you're driving, you're burning fuel, you're entering transport, you're spending money. So you need to do this because over time, you will start to see that you end up spending a lot of money per week or per month or per day on transport, and that is eating into the profit of your item. So when you are shipping your item, apart from every other thing that I've mentioned now, you need to factor in the cost of how much it costs you to transport yourself to the location for shipping that item. And also another thing to factor also, if you're taking a vehicle, there are some places that you go to that actually require you to pay before you can park or pay for parking. So you need to factor that in, plus the amount of fuel that you're going to buy as well. So if you're driving, you can add a little money for fuel, maybe 500 Naira or 200 Naira, depending on however you want to add it. And also if you're paying for parking, then you should also definitely add that plus the fuel money as well. So this is something that it does rack up over time as you ship items, because as you get orders, you need to drive there or you need to transport yourself there. It's going to cost you money. And trust me, transportation is the thing that does take a lot of money, especially depending on where you stay and how far the hub is to your location. Of course, if you're selling with Jumia Express, you do not need to worry about that. So that's something to take note of. Alright, so I'd like you guys to tell me in the comment section below, which of these things did you not know about? And also, if you've got any question, let me know in the comment section below as well. For more videos like this, click on the subscribe button below and click on the notification bell right next to it. I release a new video every Wednesday and Friday, and you'll be the first notified when that happens. And also, if you would like to support this channel, ways to do that are going to be in the description below. So thank you very much for that, and I'll see you guys soon. Cheers.
crying little.